Welcome gamers to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming, and on today's episode, we're going to review the new Pokemon Direct that came out for the new games Pokemon Sword and Pokemon Shield and see what the new features are, the new trainers, and some of the new Pokemon. Also guys, Google Stadia just dropped a big announcement mere days before E3, so we are going to tell you what that was all about. But as always guys, there's all that and more, so if you want to hang out, grab yourself a beer, and let's talk games. Welcome everybody to this week's episode of Last Call Gaming. This is episode 10, and Andrew, I am glad that we made it this far.
Hey, you know what? Nothing but the sky from here, baby.
Hey, from here on out. So, obviously guys, this is Andrew Montemayor. My name is Craig Perales, and we are here to talk to you about a thing that just launched on the 5th of June. That was the Pokemon Direct, and what that showed off was new features, new trainers, new Pokemon that you're going to be able to play with, and we kind of want to dive into that. So before we get into those kind of topics, Andrew, you saw the new thing. It's about 16 or so minutes long. How did the game look to you?
I thought the game looked great. I mean, not if we're just going graphic fidelity wise, I thought it looked really good. I think one of my favorite things about it is just not only are the Pokemon, like, it seems like they're kind of everywhere, which is one of my favorite things about Detective Pikachu is that you feel that they're in this world where you see, like, the Growlithe is, like, the police or the whatever. I don't know how in-depth in the game it was, but when the person's walking through the city, it didn't seem like it was just a random, you go into one house and then it's someone's, like, fucking pet with them, you know? It seemed like there was, like, I think it looked like someone was sitting by the window. I don't know if they're cleaning it or not, or if it was a flower store, but they had that one flower Pokemon, it seemed like, or whatever on there. And so maybe, you know, that Pokemon helps sell flowers or whatever, and, like, helps the flowers to grow or whatever.
That's funny you said that. That's because one of the things I never liked about when you went into a house and talked to the Pokemon is they never said their name. Like, you would talk to it, and it'd be like some growl or some whatever, but, yeah, so I'm with you. It looks like you're saying, like Detective Pikachu, the town, you can start seeing the Pokemon. They're actually walking around and stuff. So
it just makes the world feel a lot more alive versus I'm just going from point to point, and whatever I run into is what I run into besides the, you know, the Snorlax sleeping in the road that's always there.
Right, out of nowhere. So this game feels definitely inhabited. It feels like you're going to be walking into things and it's not going to be generic. It looks like things are actually moving around. So like I said, we kind of want to go over what they showed, and like any Pokemon game, there has to be new Pokemon. So the ones that they actually showed to us, guys, was the what was it? There's a couple of them. So the first one is Wooloo. It's a sheep Pokemon. This is kind of this is the cute one that I can tell from, that everyone's kind of on social media is going, oh, here's the new.
It'll be the second sheep Pokemon because they have Mareep from Gold, which
he's badass, electric, right? And
yeah, because it turns into Ampharos. So it's like, did they just throw that Pokemon out the window? And I
had a Pokemon deck that was electric, and Ampharos was my showstopper. He was badass.
Nice.
But so then we also have it's the flowering Pokemon. It's called Gossifleur. And then there was a new one that looked pretty badass called Dreadnought. He was a bite Pokemon.
I think that one was the best one that they showed today.
Hands down, he was the sickest. And then the other one they had was Corviknight, which was the Raven Pokemon. It was a flyer.
Oh, that one was actually really cool too.
So before we go into the last two that I want to mention, it actually showed one evolution, right? Because when you play Pokemon, you know, the whole premise of the game is to evolve your guys. And the one that they showed was Gossifleur, and it actually moved into a guy called Eldegoss. So you see these new Pokemon, Andrew. Did any of them, besides obviously we both like Dreadnought, did any of them catch your eye? Did it look like they're moving in the right kind of tempo with new guys?
I felt like they spent too much time on that as far as that goes. Like, I don't even understand why they showed off some designs of the Pokemon. Like, everyone knows what Pokemon is and what you're going to expect. That I felt the presentation would have been better had they just stuck to, you know, here's your mains, maybe here's what they evolve into. And maybe you see these other Pokemon in the background while you're doing the gameplay demo and stuff, but don't show them because, I mean, he went into detail. He's like, oh, this Pokemon does this, and their seeds are known for healing, and it's some, like, stupid, what are those things that you buy, like a dandelion-looking thing or whatever, and I was like, oh, that Pokemon's kind of lame, but
yeah,
if you're going to show me something cool. Like, what's Dreadnought turn into? Does that turn into anything? Is that an evolved form or something?
Yeah, that's interesting, because I was thinking kind of the same thing. Like, he looks like one of the guys that are kind of going to be, like, to me, an Onix, like, that is his only form. Is there a way to change him that's outside of, you know, leveling him up like Onix and the Steelix?
I suppose you could make him bigger.
Whoa, bro! Whoa! You get a little too big for your britches here. So the other thing, guys, so those are the new ones they showed. Really, the only one that kind of stood out that I would say was Corviknight, right? Because in the direct, they said that he acts as a taxi. So it looks like he's going to be
around or something.
A spot where you can meet him up in a certain town, and you're going to be able to fly anywhere instead of like the original games where you have to wait and acquire the fly ability to start going back and forth.
That'd be kind of cool, because I feel like a lot of games are kind of implementing that now. Like, a lot of people are tired of running back and forth, and it's not till the end game that you get the flying ability.
Or the bike or anything like that, you know? So it is really cool, because a lot of people have been speculating that in a lot of the towns, you see this kind of train running, and a lot of people thought that was kind of the system to get you from town to town, but why not use a Pokemon? So that he was the one that stood out to me. With Andrew, I don't think anything looked overly impressive. They're new guys, and I'm sure when we see the lineup,
there's a million other why they chose the show, like Flower and
some of the lamer ones. I would assume
it's whatever.
So before we wrap up the new guys, they did show the legendaries that are going to be in this game. The legendaries are Zacian and Zamazenta, and they're both dog-looking Pokemon. Andrew, you saw the design. We had a conversation about it a few minutes ago. First impressions, what do you think? Well, you know mine, and I'll say what mine were.
You have like a Big Shield Gardna on one side, and then you have the Dark Souls Sif ripoff on the other, which I would take the Sword one over the Shield one. I think the Shield one, outside of whatever, even if it wasn't comparing to anything, it looks dumb. It's just like a big fucking shield out to here.
Yeah.
All you see is like his face.
I think it's almost like they tried to hitting the nail on the head too hard with this thing. They're like, oh, our game is called Pokemon Sword and Shield, so let's literally make our legendary guys a sword and a
he's
shield.
Carrying like a shield or a sword that's is that exclusive to his Pokemon? Could anyone pick up that sword? Because it's not like, like we were talking about earlier, like a Marowak carries a bone. Anything, a bone could be anywhere. Farfetch'd carries a leak.
Yeah, is he born with the dagger in his mouth and the sword, and it grows into a sword?
I don't know. I feel like they weren't that like crazy cool, anyways. Like,
I didn't think so either. And I think
kind of boring.
And I think they've kind of done the whole dog legendary thing to death. Like they couldn't have picked a different like 3-wise legendary frog type. Anything else?
That'd be kind of cool.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we've done dogs, so I don't know. The game looks great, and I think it's going to be great. The legendaries looked pretty let down.
I think our big takeaway from this is like the game looks good. It's just the presentation was very lackluster, is what it was. Especially with like a lot of the over commentating and stuff like that. Like them talking, we're so excited for this game. We hope you are too.
The translator the translator doing these guys' voice didn't do them any justice. And then there was the guy that was doing the actual art. And he was trying to describe all these Pokemon, and you could tell this guy was just reading off of like cue cards that were too far away from him to make out words. And
and it's like I don't need like some like shoutcaster guy coming in there and hyping it up, but like just show some emotion or like a passion. Like when you're reading the thing, you could put just a little bit of emphasis. Like we can't wait for you to play this new Pokemon game. We can't wait. For you. It was so odd.
It wasn't even monotone because like the pitch just kept dropping. Like it didn't stay flat. But
I felt that was the weirdest thing about it that kind of threw me off. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff about it though.
Yeah, and then we'll move into that. So one of the next things they do is the characters, and the characters I feel is kind of like it's the formula that keeps this franchise going, because it's been the same since Red and Blue up until now. So you've got the so your professor, right? Every game has a professor. This is going to be Professor Magnolia.
Always like tree-based name or something.
And she is one of the heads of the research of Dynamax, and we'll get into Dynamax in a second.
Yeah.
She's got an assistant, which is her granddaughter. Her name is Sonia. But what they really kind of showed was in this
I'm surprised they didn't name her after a tree.
Or, some sort of leaf, a seed, a bush, something, Because what was Sonya? It's like, you kind of, like the Dragon Ball Z, everyone's kind of named in the same kind of category. Like, she's out of nowhere. She's like, what is Sonya?
Your mom's name Magnolia and you're Sonya?
Yeah, you're Sonya Berries. So we didn't even mention, this is in the Galar region. So, in the Galar region, there's a character named, was it Leon? Yeah, Leon. He is the champion. He's undefeated. He's clearly going to be the guy that you have to defeat, whether it's an Elite Four.
I like that that's what's really cool that they've showed about him is, like, he's someone that everybody knows. Everyone knows he's the champion.
He's
like,
the town hero.
In this world, he's a town hero. Everyone knows who he is.
Yeah.
Versus, like, I just made it to the end. No one said anything about you at all until now I'm seeing you.
Yeah, exactly. And the only thing I like his outfit. He's got kind of like this royal cape and shit.
Oh,
the only thing I don't like is his shirt is literally a shield and a sword on it. So again, they're like, there's a hammer in at home. Like, hey guys, this is sword and shield. So make sure you know that the guy that runs this town is sword and shield. So, like, this is the name of the game. Like, what does the sword and shield have to do with anything in the game? So, I don't know. I thought that was kind of goofy. But, like any good Pokemon game, there's always a rival. And the rival in this game is a feller by the name of Hop.
His younger brother?
It's Leon's younger brother. And coincidentally, wants to be the greatest champion in the world, just like his brother. His journey starts the same day as yours. So, you guys are now these childhood rivalries. But,
so far, staying true to form, surprising nobody.
Yeah, there's surprising nobody.
There's no dad present whatsoever anywhere. Just
it's lacking in a father figure, which all these Pokemon games have been doing since day one.
Pretty much. I mean, it's the characters are cool, and I think what I like more, and maybe like the conversation leads to that, is like what we were saying before, is the world seems like it's kind of fuller and more lively. Like I like that the gym battles, if I'm not getting too far ahead, is filled with people in like this big stadium. It's not just a one-on-one with like a couple
they're definitely
washouts like standing.
They're definitely making the people be
a spectacle
in this game. Yeah. But I was gonna say to you, one of the things that I've slowly stopped liking in these Pokemon games is that your rival is no longer someone that like you don't like. Because in the beginning, when you played Red and Blue, I played Red, so my rival was Blue. He used to talk shit to you. He used to talk shit to his grandpa. And then eventually these games kind of became...
And you humble him at the end.
Yeah, you guys are kind of friends. And you're like, oh, let's go on this journey together. So, again, this looks like another one where it's like your best friend is going to be your rival that you beat his ass all the way through the game. And then he just, at the end, he just happens to beat the Elite Four. And then you happen to beat him. So, I don't know.
It's a formula that works.
It's a formula that works.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
so.
it's true to its original nature. But... the last thing, guys... Oh, no, I'm sorry. We missed one. There is... So, they also showed the gym leader. So, like Andrew was saying, these gyms are big spectacles, and they showed off a character named Milo.
It's like a stadium event now, like football or something, you know? You have your people fighting, and there's just a whole bunch of people
and
watching.
I love that so much more.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Epic.
It's like Pokemon Stadium.
Exactly.
Is what it is.
And this is essentially like their football team, right? When you rock this city, this guy is your hometown hero.
Yeah,
so,
I noticed that too. There's all the green and stuff everywhere, so that was really cool.
So that looks really cool. They look really involved. But that's pretty much it for the characters. So let's move into the features, Andrew. The first one is that they kind of mention is anything that they're calling between cities is called the wild area, right? So this is going to be where you run into your Pokemon. This is going to be where you can go fishing.
It's almost a semi-open world. I'm sure there's a limit to where you can go.
Right,
whatever.
Exactly. It's not
but,
true to like a big sandbox. But yeah, you're going to be able to run around.
Right, and now what they're doing is, well, I think they were doing it with Pokemon Let's Go, is the Pokemon are not like just... There may be some random encounters, I'm not sure, because they didn't really show that. But the Pokemon are just kind of meandering around everywhere. So you kind of can see them, like Final Fantasy 12 style, do I want to waste my time fighting this person? Or do I just run
you
past
can see
them,
something, you're like, you know what, I don't want to fight that guy. I've got 30 of him. Let me run past them. I don't need to run in that patch of grass.
Right.
And they're also, it's something that's been with us since Gold and Silver, where... time is going to be a big part of this game, so you can actually, the day and night system is going to revolve around which Pokemon you see, and then kind of like in Sun and Moon, the weather is going to play a factor in this. So based on time of day, and if it's snowing, if it's a sandstorm, that's also going to play into which Pokemon you can see, which I thought...
Right, that's cool.
It's a really cool
feature. Makes the world make it feel like it's more alive.
Exactly, it feels like it's actually doing something. One of the other features is, and take this for what it is you have an adjustable camera, right? Most of the Pokemon games have always been a top-down view. You kind of watch your guy. This one, I almost want to say it'd almost be like a Mario 64. You got your, you can finally start moving the camera around.
I hope they keep that same noise where it's like the whoop, whoop, whoop.
That'd be sweet. Or a Pokemon comes down and he's filming you in the cloud.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
So that was a really cool feature, but guys, the big draw to this game, or at least what they're pushing
the big
as
game
the big
changer
draw,
for every single Pokemon,
is a ability that's happening in this region that's called Dynamax. And what this ability is doing is it's allowing your Pokemon to grow into massive size for 3 turns and power up all of its moves. And
yeah, they're huge.
We saw it. You saw what it looks like.
I think it's kind of lame.
Okay, I'm
I
with
think
you.
it's like very gimmicky. I didn't like the Mega Evolutions at first, and then they kind of grew on me because I realized, they're different. I like that they at least changed the way the Pokemon look and stuff. Versus now it's just a big
teddy bear looking style of
Pokemon. Yeah.
Because I'm with you. The Mega Evolutions actually brought something different, right? You're getting a new esque Pokemon that has an item. Like you have to go out of your way to make them Mega Evolution. This just seems like it's a scientific advancement that these gym, because what's going to happen? They're incorporating in the gym battles. So your second or first gym or all of them need to have Dynamax in it.
Mega, big one.
So it's a weird concept. Again, like Andrew said, it sounds like a weird gimmick. I hope they don't focus the whole game on it. But
it seems like it's going to play a big part of it. Yeah. And it's kind of weird, like for a company like Nintendo or Game Freak too, that they recycle so much with all their games. Like all the games are almost the same. It's just small differences, maybe different regions or whatever. That you feel you have to put a big gimmick in there each time. People would buy it like regardless. Just add new Pokemon, different region, different story, that sort of thing.
Yeah. I mean, even if you compare like red and blue to yellow to
like put a gimmick in there, like Mega, or put something in there when it really needs to be there. When you have something to bring to the table, not like let's just make them big now. Like I don't know. Unless it plays more into the story, I could be wrong. It could be something.
Yeah,
cool
that's what we were saying. So unless this thing is
could be a lot cooler,
badass to watch or look, or it plays a big part of that story. It just seems kind of forced. At least at this point, right? Just by watching this, it looks a little forced, or at least I don't know, not as appealing, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not into it. I thought that was kind of the dumber part of it, especially are you? Let's move on to the multiplayer. They added multiplayer now that you can play with your friends and stuff, and so that's the thing that's one of the things you do is a raid. So it's you and 3 other people versus just the one big Pokemon. I think it's a cool idea, it's a cool concept, but I think it's kind of dumb at the same time. Like that's it. That's what you're doing.
Yeah. So one of the the last feature that they kind of said was that they're going to do multiplayer, and I thought it was interesting though, because I thought at first they were saying this was the only way multiplayer was going to function, but when I listened to it again, it says this is one of the multiplayer functions, and like Andrew's saying, it's called Max Raid Battle. Essentially, you and 4 other people, whether it's co-op or it's online, go in. You're fighting a Dynamax Pokemon that stays, unlike the 3-turn system, he stays big. You guys fight him, and as a player, between the 4 of you, only one of you get to choose your who's going to be a Dynamax. And if you win, you all have the ability to catch it.
To try and catch it,
and there's other ways to where you can't catch Pokemon like him unless you beat the Dynamax version of it. So, cool little challenges, right? I mean, I guess there's cool little obstacles that you can compete. They kind of make the multiplayer work or worth playing if that's the concept of collecting all 150 for that title.
Yeah, hopefully they add other cool things though as far as the multiplayer goes, like maybe team battles or something like Pokemon Stadium, versus other
awesome.
people in like a bracket or something like that, or like a little local championship, something cool like that. I think would be a lot of fun. Yeah. I mean, how did you feel about the presentation, like overall?
I think visually and gameplay wise, I'm buying it. It's a day oneer for me, and I know a couple people that I've talked to that this is the game that's going to pull them out of the few people that I've talked to that don't own a Switch. This is the game that's pulling them out of it. So visually, I think this game showed a lot more of what this is offers. In terms of the presentation, a C. I mean, like you were saying, a lot of this stuff was like there was no enthusiasm in it, and I'm just kind of sitting there going, why couldn't this have been done a little differently? I don't know.
And the thing is too, like I watched this first. And because I didn't watch it until today, so it's like 2 days afterwards. And then I watched the Stadia the Stadia afterwards. So it's not like I watched a really like overhyped good one with all this energy and then went to this one. I just watched this one. I was like, okay, well that was something.
Yeah, it was definitely something. And to each their own. If you enjoyed it, awesome. I thought it showed a lot of good stuff. It's just the delivery was a little subpar.
Yeah.
Me, so
I mean, game wise though, like I said, the game looks. I don't think I'll jump.
Is it gonna pull you out of retirement?
No, I don't think so. I mean, big fat Pokemon are not just gonna making Pokemon bigger isn't gonna make. Oh dang, I'm ready to jump on that train. I mean, maybe. I think I can see myself playing it like eventually sometime down the road, but it's not gonna be like a day one. I'm not dying for it.
Oh yeah, I'm dying for it, and I'll get day one it. And again, guys, if it comes out November 15th, so far is the official release date for that. So if you guys are interested in playing it, Drop down there.
Maybe we'll buy it for somebody.
Yeah. Oh, that could be a new contest. So jump down there. Let us know if you want to be, if you're hashtag Team Sword, you're hashtag Team Shield. Let us know what you thought of the presentation. Did you think it was good? Hey, maybe, But Andrew, we got to move on to something a little more tastier, in my opinion.
Definitely the better conference. So
Definitely,
far.
yeah. Which was cool because it came out the next day. It came out on the 6th, and this was the Google Stadia Connect. Andrew, walk me through a little bit about what that was about.
Well, they showed off a lot of different things. I mean, the biggest thing that everyone's been clamoring for is the price. And so...
Yep, they showed that off.
What they showed is it's $10 a month for the Pro one, but that does not launch until next year. So if you want to get it this year, you have to get in on the Founders Pack, which is like $130. It comes with a controller and a Chrome Ultracast, and then also they said you pick your ID before anyone else can. I mean, the big thing, though, that they kind of explained, too, that I think the biggest thing for me and what solidified whether I would get it or not, is that the games are... The $10, the way the Stadia works, is almost like a game pass, where there's select games in there. Not every single game. You would still have to buy, let's say...
Right, it's not gonna house all the AAA titles. You're not gonna get... Because I think a lot of people were thinking this was... And the term that's being thrown around is the Netflix of games, which it's not, right? You're not gonna pay $10 a month, but you're not gonna get... You're not getting Assassin's Creed Origins. You're not getting...
well, you're gonna see Odyssey, but I mean, let's say Final Fantasy VII came out tomorrow. I don't know if that would be on that list day one and day.
Right.
So, and that's the thing. We'll see because it's not even out yet. So who knows if they have like a good track record of, all right, this game's on there day and date, day and date, day and date, day and date, then, that might be. But otherwise, it's just, there's, it's a red box. You've got your selection of stuff and not everything on there is day one material.
I'm curious. So it comes out, right? You get your, because it's not even... The Chromecast. Oh, they're calling it the Chromecast Ultra.
The Chromecast Ultra,
right?
is what it is, yes.
So for $129.99, you get your Chromecast Ultra, which retails at $69.99. You get your controller for $69.99. So already at $140, you're getting your money's worth.
It's an easy buy-in, for sure.
You get your 3 months of service for it. The cool icing on the cake.
The Buddy Pass, yes.
You get to give it to a friend for 3 months. So now you guys both get to be able to play it. And then you also get all of Destiny 2. So if anyone's a fan of Destiny 2, that game comes completely packaged
with the new
thing.
DLC.
With everything. Like the season pass, the DLC. And the other thing was...
Shadowkeep.
If you're playing this game, let's say you're playing on an Xbox or you're playing it on PS4, you can move your character, I believe they're called Guardians, from there to the Stadia and keep playing with that character. So I thought that was a really cool
that's
feature.
A pretty cool way to migrate it.
And in terms of what it costs, I mean, you're getting, I think, more bang for your buck than what it actually costs.
It's a very cheap entry into it, but the game, they gave a list of games that, it shows, but who knows, again.
Right. That's going to, that's going to jam up.
Because a lot of the games that are on the list, there's like one that's like brand new, and who knows by the time this launches, because I'll go over a couple of the names right now. I just wrote down some of the big names. There's plenty of others. Baldur's Gate, which is brand new. Ghost Recon, the new one. Breakpoint, which is not even out yet. AC Odyssey, which has been out. Division 2, which has been out. Destiny 2, which has been out. Doom Eternal is not out yet, but who knows by the time this launches how long it will be there. Is that 5 months later, 4 months later,
right.
Whatever. Final Fantasy 15 has been out for quite some time. So more than half those games have been out for more than a few months.
Right. So anyone looking at getting this, all the games that are available games that are already out.
It's really good for people who tend to sit on like a big backlog and take a long time to play lots of games, because then by the time you're ready to play Ghost Recon or Doom Eternal, you would have had to beat ABC, whatever it is you feel is on your backlog first. It might actually be in, we'll call it the locker for right now, because I don't think they have a name
Google
for
locker?
it. Yeah, they trademark.
I swear to God, Google, you son of a bitch! Don't take it.
So yeah, for the Google locker, because I don't think they have like a name for it yet.
There's no Game Pass.
Yeah. So, by the time you're ready for that game, you might not even have to buy it. It might be in the Google Locker. It might be, something like that.
Yeah, and, a couple of people I've been having conversation with is, are you going to want to pay more? Because essentially, if you want to play any game, you're still going to have to buy it at retail price, right? You still have to buy the game. Let's say it's not in the locker.
If you want it day one,
right?
and
if
it's
you,
not
if
in the
you
locker.
Want to play Odyssey, and it's not on the locker, which I'm almost guaranteed that it will be, and it's $60.
Yeah, Odyssey's in.
You know, the cool thing is it's got the appeal of a Switch where I can take it on the go, but you can take it with you anywhere.
That is the biggest advantage to it. Like, you're not just buying it to where I can only play it one spot. You can play it on whatever it is that supports it, which right now they said is a little limited, but they're adding more.
Yeah, they're adding more.
Perfect point.
It's one of those things where, like, okay, so I buy a game on my Xbox. I can only play it when I come home and sit down at my house and play on the Xbox. But if you have this, you could essentially buy your game, and when you have an hour lunch break, a 30-minute lunch break, you can sit down, you can start playing your game at work, or, you know, some people's work is a little more lax than other. If you got a job that you have a lot of downtime, and think about that, you can literally play your Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and then when you go home, you can play Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and when you go to a friend's house, you can keep playing it. You're not restricted to just the one spot, which is what most people have in their houses, you know, their game console. And that's the biggest appeal to me.
It's like almost like a Netflix idea. Like, you know, you could use it just anywhere. You know, how many times, I don't personally use it in bed, but Christina all the time, she'll, instead of watching it, whatever, in the front room, she's done watching it, she don't want to sleep in the front room, she'll go into the bedroom, put it on her phone, go to sleep right there. How, you know, if I'm done playing and I just want to lie down, and that's my problem, it's like, I don't want to be sitting here in my chair anymore, whatever, I just want to go lie down. I don't want to lay down on the couch super far away, or whatever your setup may be, you know. I can just go lie in my bed, put it on my phone if you have the controller, whatever it is they end up doing, you know, and just play it right off your phone.
So
tablet, something.
They went into a big thing with the specs, Andrew. Walk me through a little bit about what you can expect on the current system that they're offering, right? It's the 35 megabits per second, right? If you're running that on your internet speed, it offers you the 4K. It offers you the 60 frames per second.
Right. So, yeah, they went through some of the speeds too, and I put the lowest because I think that was what they said you need for 4K, and I don't think they mentioned anything above the 4K. But the lowest on that totem pole, which was 10 megabits per second, which isn't very good anyways, is 720p at 60 FPS, which if you're not, you know, a big graphics monger or anything like that.
And that's the thing.
You
I
know,
don't think most people are even going to notice. I mean, it's not a bad little starting package, no?
Yeah, and that's, you know, that would be good for, especially if you have like really shitty internet or something like that. You know, by all means, you take a graphical hit, but to keep it at that 60 FPS, you know, why not?
And that was the thing. I thought when they were going to the 10, they were going to say it drops to 30. But the fact that it stayed at 60 running, I was just like, huh. The only thing I had an issue with was you didn't watch it. I don't think you watched it live, and I don't know if they showed it on the YouTube, you know, when you watch it later, is the lag that they had during their press
and that all depends on, like, your internet connection, because there's
everyone had
they
showed
it,
I saw
it
all
runs,
the comments. Like, everybody had a problem with that.
Yeah, you know, it depends, because, like I said, you know, they showed it another time, and it worked perfectly. They've had, like, the little demo, and a lot of people said there's, like, zero input lag, so who knows, maybe it's where they were at for that event. And again, that's also what's going to come down to it, too, is, like, is my phone, when I'm sitting outside your house, pirating your internet, like, is it going to run just fine?
Yeah, that was one of the things they said. It's not going to run off cellular data. It's not, and that, you know, the other thing, I was reading an article, so I don't know how true this is or isn't, but, like, the features they were selling on the controller, the instant stream, and then the assist button, they're saying isn't actually a launch feature. Like, it's something that's coming later with the controller. So all the stuff that were kind of hyping us up on a couple months ago when we were talking about it,
I mean,
are things that are, like, coming. So
for
I think
$120
yeah,
buy-in,
the real
you know,
launch I think is 2020, right?
Yeah, I mean, with how long I had to wait for, like, Xbox or, like, PS4 to get their shit together and stuff like that, you know, what does it matter that I can't share something right away? I'll tell you, like, the biggest concern, the article I was talking about. So someone had written something up, and they kind of pulled some math together, and they said that if you use the Stadia, hypothetically, and this is off of Stadia's numbers and what Stadia has presented, if you're using it at 4K for 65 hours, which isn't, you know, if you game, you know, in a month, I game a lot more than 65 hours, you're using 1 terabyte of data.
Yeah, that's insane.
That is an insane amount of data to be going through. Especially, I'm lucky that I don't have any sort of internet cap. Yeah. So to me, it doesn't matter. But I know that it's not like that everywhere. You know,
yeah, exactly.
There's all kinds of places out there. You know, you have a 200 meg cap, what 200 gig cap, whatever it may be. That thing will just eat it right up.
And the other thing I kind of forgot to even write down in my notes, but I'm remembering it, is it's only launching in, 14 countries, I think, to start with. So that's another thing you got to take into, you know, into the hands of it, is this thing isn't ready to go everywhere, right? So it's not an Xbox that can go, I have hardware and I can put it wherever I want. This thing, based on, the streaming and all that stuff, it's only starting somewhere. So we got to keep that in mind, though.
I think its biggest benefit to it is just the low price point to get in and being able to, how mobile it is. But the biggest thing is just that price point, $120 buy-in versus a $250 console that I can only play in one spot at any given time.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing to... I don't want to call it a good thing. It's a breath of fresh air. It's something new. We're moving into a new space. Like, that's what I think a lot of older gamers are having an issue with, is we're moving into the cloud wars. Like, we're going into a thing of, like, streaming is going to be a thing. Microsoft and PlayStation are both jumping into the
I'm sure
the
they're
streaming
working on it,
spaces.
yeah.
And consoles, I don't ever want to call them a thing in the past, because I love having hardware. I love buying a game, but we're living in the time where this is moving us in the next direction, and it's Google that's doing it. So, like, as a flagship company that's doing it, I'm looking forward to it. I already pre-ordered mine. I got the Founders Edition. I'm giving Andrew my buddy pass, and I mean, mainly because, now that we're running a gaming podcast, I want to get it day one and we want to review it. I want to test it. I want to see what it looks like. Baldur's Gate 3 looks, as small as that trailer was, the moment I watched it, I was like, I'm in. I've been a fan of Baldur's Gate since day one. I played number 1, played number 2. I don't have a PC. I don't play on PC. So if Stadia, like the Switch, I play it for certain things. But if Stadia is my access to playing PC games that I never would have been able to play before, one more thing. So I'm looking forward to it.
I'll try it out. I don't think I'm ready to, like, jump in. I wouldn't do the Founders or whatever. Did you do the Founders?
Yeah, I got the Founders.
Yeah,
so I got my controller, got my buddy
I did like that controller, that, like, nice blue.
Yeah, it's the Night Blue, I think they were calling it. Like the Night King.
Yeah, I don't think I would jump in day one like you guys are.
No, yeah,
I'll regret that, but
I was saying,
try it.
It's not for everybody, right? $120 is still $120 for a system that has no
it's not even that
record. Has no
out of all the games, like Baldur's Gate's the one I don't have. Like I beaten all the rest.
Baldur's Gate. I mean, I wouldn't even call it a killer app, but for me, I was just like, I'll spend $120, get something, try it out, play Baldur's Gate. I was looking forward to it.
I mean, either way, overall, I'll give them. I thought this was a great conference for them to start with. They got everything.
It was strong,
out there.
And the beauty of it was right before E3. I mean, E3 is coming up tomorrow, and they just launched it yesterday, and I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, might as well just get it out of the way for sure.
So overall, Andrew, I know you're not going to get it day of, but $120.
I'll try it. I mean, I think it's worth it
in.
for a lot of people out there who don't want to buy an Xbox or a PS4 or something. But then the other thing that's going to come to mind is, like, how many other people are getting it? Like, what's your player pool going to look like for Division 2, for Destiny 2, to where you're supposed to be playing with all these other people, if all the other crowds over there. So, again, I think it's for... I mean, it's definitely got an audience.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if it's for the audience who's spending every day playing PUBG or Division 2, whatever like that, because they're going to go where the big crowds are.
Exactly,
and,
right?
It's got a lot to prove. So, it could be the next big thing. This could be the thing that, takes off like that. So, that's the thing, is it's got the most potential, so that's what's exciting.
And it also can feel the hardest. So, I mean, this is a very interesting thing that's going to happen, and the beauty of it is it's in a few months. It comes out...
It could be the next Movie Pass.
Ooh! And that failed badly. So
some of us learned a little harder than the others.
Another thing I got in on the ground floor and crash and burn. So you learn your lessons the hard way, and I'm hoping Stadia is not going to be one of that, because I'm looking forward to it, guys. Are you looking forward to it? Did any of you guys get the Founders Edition? Are you looking forward to the Buddy Pass? Give it to a friend. You guys can each play for 3 months. Jump online. Let us know in the comments, guys. But those are the two big stories, Andrew. But I know you got a little more on your mind. So let's move into the... Actually, no, before we do that, we have to move into a segment called the Video Game Question of the Week.
Right.
Are you ready? I almost forgot about it until I just looked at my notes and saw it. So, what we've been doing is we've been back and forth in kind of a video game question and what the other person's answer may or may not be. So, my question is, Andrew, in terms of like a secret society, what would you rather be a part of? Would you rather be a part of the Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and you pick where you want to be?
Okay.
France, England,
okay, so
Italy.
Franchise, gotcha.
Or do you want to be in the Dark Brotherhood, but the Dark Brotherhood has to be Skyrim era?
Dark Brotherhood.
Hands down, no looking back?
Yeah.
And why?
Because I feel like with the assassins, like you're working to protect the world and you're doing all these things for the greater good, whereas the Dark Brotherhood, you're kind of just you're doing these things because you want to. You, like a lot of those people choose and pick the jobs they want to take. They could just not do any jobs. They could go out and murder whatever. Even though that's kind
you
of
just want to pass to kill people.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like knowing how like
hey, at least with the assassins, there's a creed.
Well, they do have the they do have the rules of the the tenants,
and they can kill you if you fuck up.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, they end up they get broken. They get broken in all of them anyways. And that's every Assassin's Creed is some assassin betrays another assassin.
Nice. I like your answer. I would, I think, pick the assassins, and I
think you're just in love with the look.
Well, hey, whatever the influence is, right? Whatever it's gonna be, whatever your answer, however it teeter-totters over what weighed more than the other one. Because if I'm taking assassins, I want the arm strength to climb up a building in about 14 seconds.
That wasn't the question at all. Yeah. Do you want the physique? It said what lifestyle you want to lead, not physique.
But yeah, give me the Black Flag Assassin's Creed Pirates lifestyle over the snowing, shitty, live in a cave, Dark Brotherhood lifestyle. That's the way I looked at it.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice cave, though.
It was a pretty big cave, though. So, guys, if you guys are playing with the questions, what secret society do you guys want to be a part of? Is it the Assassin's Creed in whatever time period you want, or is it the Dark Brotherhood that's happening in Skyrim? So, guys, leave that down below and let's take a peek at it. But
you ready to riff?
Let's riff. Let me know.
Do you want to start? Or do you want me to start?
Start me off because
I've got one that's not.
I know you're hot right now. I know you're hot.
Well, I have one that's not on your paper.
Oh.
A
surprise riff?
Yeah, that I wanted to bring to you.
Okay.
So, you know how we were stoked on Mario Maker 2?
Oh, God. Don't let me down. What? Okay.
Oh, no. It's a letdown. I was upset about it unless they change it. So, Mario Maker 2, we were both hyped on the multiplayer. And then we were even more hyped on the fact that you could compete with each other, right? To get to the level who does the best, right? When you're racing to the end.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm with you so far.
You cannot play that with your friends.
Go on. What does that mean?
You can only play it with randoms. So you cannot compete with your friends.
With anyone that you have a Switch account
with?
Not
for the competing part. You cannot. Because they said it damages the integrity of the leaderboard. So instead of making a fucking game mode that's like, all right, here's one for leaderboards. Here's one just for people wanting to fuck around. A quick play like you, your friends. There's no score. It's just whoever wins the best out of whoever wins, right? The logical fucking thing to do. They're just like, no, leaderboards only.
So essentially what they want 3 people tanking. So one guy's score goes up and he raises in the ranks of this
right,
leaderboard.
With the rank, yeah.
Where you could easily just do a leaderboard system like you're saying and an in-house just a co-op 4 buddies that has nothing to do with any points. So
right. So
how come they aren't doing that?
I thought that was fucking stupid. That you can't just create a lobby with your online friends and doing whatever. Yeah, it was stupid. You can totally create a fucking lobby. Every other modern game does it. You create a lobby that score does not go towards anything.
This is Nintendo. This is Nintendo, though, who's really shitty at doing multiplayer or anything. So the first time they're trying it, they're going, oh, well, you can't make lobbies in this game.
Yeah, they don't even have
that's a fucking bummer.
A voice chat, but hey, let's fuck your day up even worse.
Oh, that sucks.
So I'll start with that, and let's hear your riff.
Well, you brought it up to me the other day, and I thought I could have sworn I saw it in an article maybe a day or so before, but Ubisoft is planning on jumping in
to the leak.
To the
leak
streaming
that we'll
services.
Find out soon.
And so it leaked because what did it pop up on Amazon or something? Somebody saw a
it shows up on their store as the Ubisoft Premium.
It was actually on their page.
Yeah, because I have that written down. Yeah, it was in the Ubi store. It says Ubi. There's no picture. It just says Ubi Pass Premium.
See now, and some of the things I've been reading on this Premium is that it sounds like they're breaking it into tiers. Like you can sign up for Ubisoft Premium, you can sign up for Ubisoft, let's say Gold or whatever. The weird thing that caught me is, okay, so we live in this place in time where everybody has multiple things that they're streaming from, whether it's, but right now we live in this video space where it's kind of Netflix, HBO, Hulu.
I hate that.
All this other stuff. And I've got bills that are just going to all this stuff. But we are living in this time as a gamer in the smallest space of services.
I would take it more with some of the games than with all the video shit.
Right. All we have is Game Pass as Xboxers, and all we have is the EA.
EA Access.
And that's it. So I think it's perfectly fine, and more are coming.
I'm more on board.
Ubisoft is coming in.
There's a huge backlog of games. Ubisoft has like a shit ton of good games.
And yeah, so I made a list of some of the big titles. If anyone's unfamiliar with Ubisoft, which would be hard to believe, but you got the Assassin's Creed games, you got all the Tom Clancy games,
right?
Which spawns what 3 different series: Ghost Recon. Is it Rainbow Six?
Yeah, Rainbow Six. Fucking all.
You've got Watch Dogs. You've got For Honor. You've got all the Far Cries. You've got Rayman. And the South Park games were all Ubisoft. So this pass coming in, I could see being really...
Depending on what they do with it, but yes. Yeah.
Right. Would be awesome. Now, what I'm confused about is why would they break... If they do, why would they break it into tiers, right? Why would there be a
maybe that's
version?
Just the name of it.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Who knows? Maybe that's why... PlayStation just recently allowed EA Access to be on PlayStation after saying, you know what, this isn't a good value for our customers, is that, and EA has always been closer with Microsoft than anything. So maybe PlayStation now saw the Ubisoft pass coming and was like, well, fuck, we can't have the Ubisoft pass but not have the EA Access pass because that's going to fuck our relationship up with EA. So now we have to have both. So maybe that's why they just did that recent... Okay, we'll finally allow you to have the pass.
Right,
that makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah,
that might be reaching a little bit too far, but
I'm just well, I guess not confused. I'm curious on the Game Pass is $10 a month, right? Which has great games on it, right? You get a lot of good stuff. You get a lot of bang for your buck on $10 a month. The EA is what, $39, but it's for the year.
$30 for the year.
For the year,
$5 per a month. Yeah.
Where does Ubisoft come in landing a price? I mean, $10 already gets you a lot of good shit with Game Pass. $30 gets you a lot for a year. Could you see this thing coming in any higher than 10 or 15 and people clamoring for it with, it depends on what it comes with. It depends on what it comes with though, because like EA Access, like I get like the newest games. You get them on there fairly quick. And you get demos of them.
But you get the free trials of everything on there. But I also play a lot more EA games than I do Ubisoft. I get Assassin's Creed every year usually. But that's also because I'm just now back to Assassin's Creed. That do I want to play 10 hours of the new one? No, I'll just go buy the game. So why would I have to pass?
Is there nothing on the pass that entices you? Anything you would look forward to? Going, oh man, now I can play all the Far Cries. I can play.
Nah, not really. A lot of them are all on the Game Pass or games with gold. So I think it's more for people who miss like a lot of the boat. But who knows? We'll see how. Because if it's like 30, if it's like. They could do $60 for a year. Now I'd pay for it, but whatever new game comes out, if I get it day one, I get it, then I'm all for that.
Yeah, that's the hard thing I'm trying to wrap my head around is they're on annual titles, so it's like, okay, you're paying for it, and I get Assassin's Creed, Ragnarok, the day it comes out. I can't, I don't know, I'm having a hard time doing that, but the two things that caught my attention, or at least I'm curious about, is Mario Rabbids is an Ubisoft game, published and developed. Could this be, if you made the pass...
Oh, that would not.
No way. How? It's published and developed by Ubisoft. If that pass had Mario Rabbids, could this be the first time you see a Mario on a PlayStation or an Xbox?
No.
Why not?
Because Nintendo still owns the rights to those characters. They could say... Yeah, you can make the game and then only.
You don't think they'd want to cut? I mean, it's not a pure true Mario game.
Doesn't matter if they wanted to cut; they would have done it forever ago. They got a million games they could have licensed out and bid on whatever.
Right, but this one with Ubisoft's pass is kind of out of their hands. It's not like Nintendo's making the move.
I'm sure. Well, Nintendo still owns the rights to Mario and what platforms he can show up on.
So that's the one. That's the one. Curious though, right? I'm kind of wondering what they're gonna do with that. And the other one I was looking at is they got a lot of good games. Like what got me into Assassin's Creed. Playing in high school was the Prince of Persia games, right? These are all PS2 games. When you look at the Game Pass does a lot of this backwards compatibility with original Xbox games.
Oh yeah, because they
did PS2 came out at the same time as the Xbox.
Yeah.
If Ubisoft had a pass that you could go back and play some of these old like Prince of Persia games.
Well, I think they even redid those for like Xbox at one point or something like that.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they it wasn't like a remaster, but they
like the Sands of Time.
Yeah, I think that they did.
I'd be curious if they went back and did any of those old PS2 games because that'd be, I think, kind of fun.
Honestly, I don't know if I can go back and like play them because I feel like those are nostalgic
games. You can play
games.
FF9 game that was from PS1. You won't play a PS2 game.
Yeah, but FF9 doesn't have fucking Godsmack as the theme song while I'm running around. Like, that's the difference.
What was it, like the Scorpion King?
Yeah, that I stand alone. Like, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that Scorpion King vibe. Like, that's I feel like that's the only reason I even know who Godsmack is from those two things.
I love Godsmack.
And I actually like the Scorpion King for some reason.
Oh, the movie.
Which is a whole nother thing, because he goes from being a villain in a movie to being a hero in his own time. That's another podcast for another time. But I'll get out there with you on the Scorpion King, because it makes no fucking sense with this timeline.
What about when he starts eating ants and he's crushing them with his shit?
Again, that's the thing. It's like, he was a villain in the other movie that was murdering everybody, and now all of a sudden he's a fucking hero trying to save everybody, and every following movie he's a hero. So I don't know. Where the fuck they went, I have no clue.
I thought those were two interesting things, though, that Ubisoft has potential things to cross a bridge with, right? They developed and published a game that has Nintendo characters in it, as well as their characters. And if Game Pass can go backwards compatible with some of their original Xbox titles, why wouldn't they be able to go do PS2 titles, which, you know, was at the same time as the Xbox was. So right. That caught my eye.
Well, I got one last riff for you. It's
nothing's throwing me off yet.
Just new Call of Duty. I'm really disappointed they didn't call it Call of Duty Modern Warfare and just continue that timeline. But
Modern Warfare.
But this game, it's Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It's the new Call of Duty, and it's essentially a reboot of the Modern Warfare timeline. Mm-hmm. I guess is what they're saying. So it's a completely new timeline, is what they're saying. But it's also the first Call of Duty that's going to be crossplay PS4, PC, Xbox.
Like, did they officially announce that?
Yeah, you can play with anybody on that.
Well, that's
so I think that's
pretty
cool. I don't want to spend too much time, because we'll see after E3. Maybe see a little bit more of the gameplay and stuff. They just showed a trailer and stuff. Either way, I just thought it was kind of a cool thing.
And isn't one of the main things that they've been saying is that it's supposed to be one of the grittier, kind of darker games that they've done? It's supposed to make the Russian scene in Call of Duty look.
Yeah, that's what they've been saying. Modern Warfare has always been, I personally think the Modern Warfare timelines, or the franchise, is better than all the others. I always felt like that one was a little bit darker, except for a couple of times in Black Ops. But yeah, all the other ones are nowhere near as nitty gritty as that sort of thing.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, because I'm one of the main reasons I fell off of the last Call of Duty is I'm a campaign player, right? You can play all the battle royals you want.
Black Ops 4 had no campaign.
I'm a campaign guy, so the fact that they're bringing this particular campaign back, which is arguably one of the best, and that they're rebooting it, right? Because Price is still going to be back in it, voiced by a new actor, but it looks good.
Was it?
Yeah, that's what I was seeing.
Maybe it's a younger version.
It's a different guy playing him.
Soap.
So I'm looking forward to it. It'll get me back in the seat of Call of Duty. And I'm sure once E3 comes out, they're going to give us all the goodies, and then our next episode, we're going to be able to talk
really dive right
in depth about that.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, we hit the stories, we've hit the riffs. I know you've been clamoring to tell me. He's been high on his high.
Well, I feel like my high is going to be better than yours, so I want you to go first. That's how confident I am.
So, the reason why we didn't have a show last week was because I had to go out of town to Kansas City, Missouri to go see our buddy Ryan Sims get married. So, congrats, Ryan, to that. Ryan. So, my high is, well, actually, my low was I didn't bring an Xbox with me. I brought my Switch with me, and I played Fire Emblem on the plane. That was a lot of fun. But I didn't get to play anything for a week or 5 days. My high was we found this bar called Up Down. And if anybody's familiar with Vegas, it's kind of like what Insert Coin was. It's a bar that has a bunch of cabinet-style arcade games, Battletoads, Ninja Turtles, Donkey Kong, Mario, Punch-Out, all kinds of badass shit was in there. But I found this game that I never played before. It was called Captain Commando. And I think it's Capcom. I have to double check, but it's a 4-player game, kind of like The Simpsons or Ninja Turtles or an X-Men. And me, my buddy Matt, and his girl Crystal started playing it, and I played this character called Babyhead. And it's literally this little baby dude that's in this mecha, and he's cruising through, just beating the shit out of people. And it was a blast. Obviously the beers were flowing. I forget the name of their two characters because there's just nobody that I know. And we quartered up, and we beat the whole game. And
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so I can take a game off my list on an arcade cabinet that I've never played before called Bionic Commando. And actually, dude, I gotta tell you, it was a lot of fun. It was more fun than like a Double Dragon was to me in the arcade. So if you've played it, awesome. If you haven't, go check it out. But low was I didn't get to play much. High was I got to beat a really cool and new game.
I'm glad you gave both because I wanted to do my low and high too.
Ooh,
so
he's putting them together.
Now,
I'll kick back for this one.
My low is playing Final Fantasy IX right now. Another game, a lot of fun. I had a blast. This is my first time actually beating it all the way through, going all the way through. Right now, there's the achievement. get to level 99, even though you have the 999 damage and stuff like that. Just that grind again, especially coming off of Sekiro too. I'm like, fucking 80. What is the deal with these grinds? Like, I don't understand. Like, just give it to me.
Yeah, can I beat a goddamn game?
But my high is there's an achievement in the game, and this is why I had like 50 different fucking saves. So there's an achievement in the game.
Oh, okay.
That I wasn't going for, that you have to get to the end in before 12 hours to get like just a sword. You beat this boss. You don't even get to use the sword for maybe like 2 or 3 more fights. So what do you mean?
From the start of the game, you have 12 hours to get to this point,
right?
To get that achievement,
right? And it's like a few bosses from the end. Like it's literally within the last like probably like 30 minutes to hour of the game. So you don't even use the sword that much. It's like the strongest weapon in the game. So you have to do it in 12 hours. I was already like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm not going to beat this game again either, even though there's the speed mode and the booster and all that stuff. So you could easily do it because I was looking on the little guide stuff for what, the roadmap. Right. He said you easily do it in like 4 to 5 hours.
You need a good roadmap.
But I was like, I don't want to beat this whole game again and just be sitting here fucking mashing A the whole time, skipping through. So
I've seen him do it.
I'm about halfway through the game, and I was looking at my time. I was like, oh, maybe I kind of do want to try for that. And I'm like, well, the guy said 4 to 5 hours, and I'm halfway through, so 12 would leave me 3. I'm at 9:30. So I turned on the boosters, created a separate save, and I actually started running for it and just fucking skipping everything, dude. I even got caught up at a couple points. There was a couple spots where I fucking died, and I had to fucking scum save and whatever. And there was one spot that was fucking annoying because you're just supposed to survive, and I didn't know that, so I'm just trying to strike these people down, and they just keep killing me because I'm not defending. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. I'm just trying to run through. So I make it, and I made it in time, and I had 12 minutes left.
With a hair on his ball sack.
So that
a minute left?
12 minutes.
Oh, so I was like, damn, a minute? Fuck.
So either way though, dude, I thought I had to skip all the cutscenes, and there's so much fucking dialogue. Granted, and I didn't even look up a guide either. I had no fucking clue where I was going. I'm just going off the conversation and whatever, and so just making it all the way to the end. I fucking did it, and I ended up getting that achievement. So that was my high, and the fact that I came so fucking close to it, too. Like, 12 minutes left. Like, I was panicking the whole time, and I'm looking at my time, and that's the thing. I'm checking it the whole time. I'm like, fuck, how much longer do I have to go? Like, I still have fucking, I felt like I didn't think I was going to make it. I was like, if I don't make it, it's going to be like a couple minutes, and I'm going to get pissed off.
That's, dude, you're always on the pressure.
And that was just like a last-minute split decision, too. I'm like, all right, cool. And then a second high. So that
double high?
That original save, I didn't save over it because I just started running it, and I created like 2 separate ones so that I can go back and keep playing. And I ended up, and then after I got that achievement, I'm playing normally now. I missed something because I had gone too far, and so I couldn't get that achievement. But because I still had that original save, I went back.
Is that the one from earlier?
Yeah, that one from earlier. I went back to that original save.
He was so happy about it.
And I was able
to get. Fuck yeah!
Yeah, it took me like 30 more minutes, and I'm like, okay, thank God. I was able to get the thing that I would have missed because you had to do it only at this one point in the game that I just wasn't paying attention.
That's awesome, man.
So either way, yeah. It turned into a double high today now. But
is it safe? Because I've been playing FF7, but again, I didn't have last week to play it, so I feel like I'm getting pretty far. Is it safe to say if come the show next week, are you going to be done with Final Fantasy 9?
For sure.
Okay. I'm hoping I'm done with Final Fantasy 7. But, guys, we are going to do something a little different. Instead of making an episode, we are going to make, some videos.
Couple little showcases.
Kind of breaking down what's going to happen during the E3 previews. So, we're going to make one for Saturday, we're going to make one for Sunday, and we're going to make one for Monday. We're going to launch those up. You guys can watch those, and then again on next Saturday, our video will be up for the actual episode 11 that's going to review everything that E3
plus
launched.
all the new stuff. So, I mean, if there's nothing interesting, though, again, like, we tell you guys, we're not going to... if EA only showed fucking soccer, that whole thing, I'm just...
You're not going to hear about it. Not from us, anyway.
I bring it up in a brief mention, like, oh, EA sucked. All they showed was soccer. We're not going to talk about anything we're not interested in. So, if we don't talk about a conference, we just probably weren't that interested in or invested in it.
Yeah, we're going to stick to topics that I think means the most to us, and definitely, I think, means the most to you guys. You don't need to hear every little bit of detail, but that's what's going to happen. So, we got 3 more videos coming out, followed by our next official episode. So, that, guys... brings this to a close. Andrew, I had a lot of fun. If you guys want to follow us on Instagram, follow us at Last Call Productions. If you guys want to follow us at Twitter, follow us at Last Call, PRODZ, Last Call Prods. If you guys want to send us a question or a comment or Tell us how much you're looking forward to E3. Send that to lastcallproductions@gmail.com, guys. All Last Call Productions end with a Z. So, that is it for this episode, guys. I had a blast. For Andrew Montemayor, my name is Craig Perales, and until next time, guys.
As always.
Cheers. Action League. Now. You know what I was... there's a question I've been wanting to ask. Like, I want to have a... Like, fictional superheroes. Who wins in a fight? Like, if you put, like, really, really big man, Powdered Toast Man, the Crimson Chin, who else can you think of that would fit into that kind of... That Quell Man.
Who's Powdered Toast Man?
From Ren and Stimpy. He flew backwards.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay.
And they always sat on his ass.
Yeah.
And when he left, he had, like, cinnamon.
I remember that now.
And you remember Really, Really Big Man, right? From Rocko's Modern Life?
Yeah.
With his fucking nipples of the future.
Yeah.
Where
are you really, really big
man?
Where are you
really, really big man? Who else did I say? Quell Man. Oh, the Crimson Chin from
Here he comes, the Crimson Chin.
Yeah, who wins in those fights?
Definitely not Quell Man.
Dude, he's got the fucking power of the Quell.
The Quell sucks.
He's like a superhero pacifist. He has like nice ways to...
Isn't Powdered Toast Man like
huge as shit?
No, but isn't he like lactose intolerant or something? Doesn't he have like a weird weakness or something?
He might.
I'm pretty sure like that was his thing. Is he had some weird fucking weakness to like it was like heat because it like cooks the egg on his face, or he's like lactose intolerant. It's something. And maybe that's what it is. Isn't he like lactose intolerant? And that's the joke is because you need eggs to make like what he's made out of or something?
That sounds right. And it was just one of those things. I was on the pooper and I was just like thinking, I'm like, what are like some like superheroes that you don't think about? And I'm just going like through all the old 90s shit. And I was like, well, who would win in a fucking fight? But yeah, I'd have to look up what his weakness is. But that sounds right. Something like that's essential to be with him is his weakness.
And see, and I feel that he has to have a weakness because... Like, I wouldn't make... Like, I couldn't just randomly make that. Of all the people, like, oh, I'm going to make this one up off the top of my head for some reason for fucking Powdered Toast Man. Like,
Powdered Toast Man. Was it powder? And he had that fucking powdered toast! Like, he had the biggest fucking boom. Dude, but Really, Really Big Man, I think, is the winner. Because I don't think he had I can't recall him having a weakness. But he's like this goofy version of, like, Superman. Who has all these weird-ass abilities.
Yeah, but then, like... Yeah, but he's also... Isn't there, like, an episode where he gets, like, really fat and stuff like that? And he's, like, out of fucking shape and...
There's gotta be. I mean, I'm sure there's an episode, but it's
I think
like
the only person
my recall on those episodes
who would win is the Abdicator.
Was that from...
That was Hey Arnold when Eugene acts tough because he looks up to the guy and the guy, like, lets him down. He's like, you know what Abdicator means? It means to let you down or whatever. And then Eugene goes bad and wears that leather jacket.
I like that. I didn't even think about Hey Arnold. See, that's what I was thinking. Like, what other... kind of superheroes were there in those old kind of shows?
I don't know. That's what I was trying to think. Was there...
I remember like in
weren't they heroes in the Angry Beavers?
I can remember those outfits. I just can't remember the names.
Yeah, I don't know what their fucking names were.
And I
was trying to think of Rugrats.
Rugrats was Mega Diaper Babies.
Oh, yeah.
They had that episode where they're all fucking the superheroes and Angelica's Angelitron. She's the robot. Yeah. She's like, and she's dotted line girl is like, how did you see me? I'm only a dotted line. And Angelica's like, well, any idiot can see a dotted line.
Yeah.